Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's stream. My name is Elliot Bond, obviously. I am your host today. I work for the British Esports Association as the Schools and Colleges Liaison Officer. I also do a lot of the streams, as some of you may or may not know me from. But welcome in, everybody in the chat. So, hi, Whiskey Juliet, hi, Kenneth Brand, hi, Zavik Twitch, Laskier RL. Welcome, everybody. Sorry if I've missed a few others. Trix is here as well. Hi, guys. Thank you very much for joining us today. So I've got some really cool things for you today. Obviously, you know we do a show match at the end of the month, and today is Rocket League, which is, of course, my favourite game, and that's why I'd wanted to be host today. Also, we've got a bit of a special game today because it is not a normal team that you've heard of. We've actually managed to pull in some players from random British Esports Championships teams to combine and form an amalgamation, or super team, as you like. So yes, that's pretty exciting too. We've also got with us a guest appearance from Sorby Academy, which is in Denmark, an esports org, an esports academy literally dedicated to improving and inspiring people to play esports in the Danish scene, which is great, and it's very much what we approve here at the British Esports Association. So let's see what we've got going on in the chat. Damn, I thought you were going to keep the hat. Fine, somebody called it. Hat's now on. Well played. I bet you hate yourself a little bit now, don't you? Yes, Whiskey, are you going to dunk on them or just the host today? I'm not playing today, unfortunately. It is something I want to do, but next time I think it'll have to be one of these days. Although somebody did point out to me earlier that does mean I have a 100% win record because I've never lost because I've never played. So there is that too. Anyway, so today with me I've got a pair of great casters who have both played in the British Esports Championships before. So I'll let them introduce themselves. So I have Sigmoid and Rando. How's it going, guys? Yeah. Okay, cool. And how are you, Rando? Good stuff. Good stuff. And so, what's the situation from you guys? Obviously, I know Tom or Sigmoid. You used to play for AGSB, which is out. Oh, that's way too hard to say. Altrincham Grammar School for Boys. Is that right? Yeah. I can't hear you very well. Okay. And Rando, obviously, you're from Felsted, so did you play at Felsted? How did that go? You know, what are you doing now? All right, hold on a second. So apparently, casters are not getting into the sound mix, which is interesting. So, but I could hear both of them fine, and I've had this problem before actually, but I actually can't remember what it was that I solved, how I solved it. So I am just going to try removing that completely. All right, try. Try now. Somebody say something.
Hello.
Stream, can we hear? Stream, can they hear us? That should work.
Hopefully.
Success. All right, let's start again.
Success.
Sigmoid, AGSB. Tell me about Altrincham Grammar School for Boys.
Yeah, so we've been competing in the championships since season 2. Season 4 was my last season, and that was in the spring. We made finals back in season 2 for Rocket League. Went out in groups season 3, reached semis season 4. But our greatest success was in League of Legends. But today we've got one of our Rocket League players playing for the BEA side. That's Noodles. Keep a lookout for him. I've just graduated. I'll be moving on to university, so that's NSE, Newell, whichever events end up cropping up over there.
Awesome. That sounds really good. Obviously, supporting the Rocket League scene in the future is really positive as well, and something that we love. Rando, fill us in. Obviously, sorry everybody for making you repeat yourself, but yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, no, sure. So I played for Felsted, which is really trying to promote esports. I'm not quite sure how they found out about British esports, but one of my teachers was really keen to get Felsted into it, really thinks that esports is the way forward. And yes, so myself and a couple of friends started playing. We didn't do too well in our first round and first time. We got knocked out pretty quickly. But second attempt, I think we got knocked out in the knockout stages. So we progressed a little bit. Still not great, but I don't know. It's led me on to different things. I'm now CCO in Elated Esports, and as you can see now, casting started doing that as a result. So definitely made progress. Very, very happy. Really.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So obviously you've both played in the British Esports Championships, and you both know the players who are going to be playing today. So why don't you just run through the little roster that we've got for the British Esports Association, and then of course I know Sigmoid, you've spent a bit of time with Sorby in the past.
I'm familiar with the Sorby lot. I've never had the pleasure of casting them due to a couple of unfortunate coincidences, but yes, ended up casting a couple of their events they were in. Danish side has Dr. Boom. He is first team for Sorby, played for the Chaos side in the Shizou Rocket Smash Championship, which I almost ended up casting them. They made the main event against some tough opposition. Since then, I believe they've been hanging around the Danish side. I was hearing from Tails, who's one of the players on the BEA side, that he recognises all the players on the Danish side, which is pretty scary given he's a 1900 and is familiar with that sort of territory.
Okay, interesting stuff. And but I mean, you said you didn't have the pleasure of casting for Sorby, but obviously you know a little bit about their team and things like that, which is kind of exciting because we have no idea how the BEA team are going to play, like at all, given the fact that they are made up of random players from different teams, haven't played together before, well, maybe not before today. So that's definitely going to be quite fun. Do we have any predictions before we get stuck straight into it?
I hate to slam the British team, but I think I'm going to give this one to Sorby, and it's going to be 4-2.
And what about you, Rando?
I'm going to have faith in Tails and his motley crew. I think it's going to be a 4-3 close victory for them.
All right.
Watch it in the end.
All right, so I think they've affectionately named the team from British Esports Team Ball Chase, which is very inspiring. But yeah, I'm not going to make. Well, I will make a prediction. I'm going to predict that Sorby will win, and the reason I'm predicting this is because every time the British Esports has done a show match, the British team has always lost. So I'm going for a win this time, in that I'll win the bet, or I'll win the prediction, as it were, rather than win the game. So yeah, that sounds great. Cool. So before we get into it, I also just wanted to say thanks very much for joining, to everybody here in the stream. I can see there's lots of viewers. That's great. We've got a lot of stuff coming up over the next few months. Is going to be our championships, which roll out. The first games will be on the 7th of October, and we are planning on doing live streams of game content every afternoon on Wednesdays, all throughout that season, up till Christmas, and then we'll continue doing that throughout the rest of the season until around Easter. So please do come along. We've got a whole brand new team of volunteers. There'll be new hosts, new casters, new producers like me, and some fantastic people getting involved. So please do come and support us on Wednesday afternoons as we showcase the students' talent in the championships. So I think we're ready to get into the game now. I think are all the team members here?
We are missing just a couple. The British side is in, but we are waiting on Sorby still.
Okay, no worries, no worries. So in the meantime then, let's just talk a little bit about the champs whilst you were partaking in it. Obviously you were both players, and we've changed the format quite significantly since then.
Yeah.
You know, we've gone from having 2 separate seasons to making it one long thing with qualifiers and divisions. How does that feel to you guys as kind of ex-players?
So back in season 2, we never had an issue with the format because there were a few enough teams that it didn't really matter. And then in season 3 and 4, we had so many teams that it basically became unfeasible to run that format any longer. So I hope teams appreciate the changes which have been made, and I'm excited to see how this qualifier season split period works out.
What about you, Randos? Similar sort of things, or obviously you had less of a. Yeah, go on.
I mean, I think it's a step in the right direction. I think there's much more. I think the more British esports can try and emulate, however, RLCS or the grid or whatever the going format is, that's the best way that the players really feel like they're doing it.
Yeah.
Which I think at the end of the day is like a good step in the right direction. So I think it's very positive to change it to that format.
Nice. All right, thank you. Well, I think we're all in now. So if we're ready to kick off, then I think we should probably do that. That's what you're all here to watch, isn't it? Bit of Rocket League. Let's get excited about it. Thanks everybody in the chat. Spyron, welcome in. Sushi, welcome in. Whiskey, hello. Samp720, Forks is here. Zappa's here. Loads of people here that I recognise. Rich Live, welcome in. Rinked is here as well. Thanks for the sub. Half a year subscribed. Enjoy that ad-free viewing and those emotes, mate. Welcome in. Just turning my light down. I look very orange in the cams. There we go. All right then. Sigmoid, are we looking good for the game? We
are looking good. All the players are in. Right. I haven't had a ready check from them. But as soon as we hear back from them, we should be good to go. Nice one.
Okay, cool. The other thing I want to just mention quickly before we jump in is best of luck to both teams. Thank you very much, Sorby Academy, for taking part. It's obviously a pleasure to have you here on the channel and to have display some of your teams here on the British Esports. And good luck to British Esports. I know we try hard. Let's see if we can pull a win. All right, let's start it up.
Around this orange box for sure for a while longer.
Tails looks like he's going to be trying to go for the ball yet, not quite managing it. Tempo intercepting. Noodle's going to try and play it into the middle. Goes with what looked to be a cross, but there's no one there to receive it. Zampa going up, not really in the right position to challenge. Cream's going to try it off the back, not quite off the top of his cover. Quick reset.
That's a dangerous pass from Zappa though. Drops it straight into midfield. Tempo waiting for him to tap it straight to him. You can get hard reads like that, and I think that bump from Dr. Boom might have been the move, the chess pieces falling into the right place, which allowed that goal to occur. 35 seconds gone, and Sorby have taken an early lead.
Already that could play a massive part into the game there, an early lead. Obviously, pressures up, both teams trying to get a feel for one another. These teams haven't played, as we see Dr. Boom trying to flip the ball into the middle. Oh, Cream's chipped it up, and that could be the follow-up, but Tails looking to challenge it nicely in defense. Oh, but it's an open net. Dr. Boom securing it. Looked like there just wasn't enough time from BEA. Noodles tried and misses. Oh, he misses it. Doesn't quite get a touch on
I can relate to feelings being expressed in chat. Zappa complaining about a lack of warm-up. Has been struggling with a couple of touches so far, was the reason the net was open in both games as far as I remember. Tempo though now, he's going to be carrying this ball over to the side. Tails cutting him off. The 1900 hard carry for this side, or at least he was last season. Zappa now following up, coming off the wall. He's missed that ball again. It's Noodles on that back line who's going to have to sweep it up. Taps it up for Tails. Tails to the midfield. Tempo is waiting though. He's not got a good pop off that ball though. Noodles with the catch on the sidewall. Cream intercepting, gets 2 touches, one off that sidewall, a crucial touch. You see it in the RLCS so often. It's one of the best ways to get some movement on the ball.
There's a drop down, and it's Tempo securing the goal there. Oh,
it's 90 seconds. That was an admirable carry to get that ball into the midfield. I think Tempo had a very easy job there, and the BEA players didn't get up early enough.
Yeah, they weren't quite playing the game they wanted to, and there was a nice shot to get it past what looked to be two BA players in the middle, and Creams hit it off to the back ball. Could there be a follow-up to the side? Zappa getting a much-needed save. Now Noodles will try and dribble it into the middle. It looks to be relatively open until two orange players appear and neutralise the play completely. Tails has a shot, but it's to the post. Zappa realises he won't get the ball, goes back to back post. Now he's going to be challenging Doom. Noodles a bit trapped on the wall. It's going to be a play down into the middle. Noodles is going to try something, hitting it to the far left corner where Tempo is looking to play it down, maybe dribble with it, pass it to Dr. Boom. He's going to be crossing it, no one there. Looks like they're playing a bit more passively now. They've got the 3-0 lead, don't need to try anything necessarily amazing. Oh, Cream with a much needed save from a shot from Tails.
Yeah, I think that passive play is having an effect, but I'm also seeing that they are getting forced onto the back line. That's not a comfortable position if you're playing passively. That being said, Noodles, I've noticed a lot, he's running out of boost almost as soon as he gets onto the ball, and we see it again there where Tempo tucks the ball into the bottom corner behind Noodles.
He's using that dominus beautifully. Little touch, bottom right bins, beautiful shot from Tempo.
And I was lying, Noodles did have enough boost, but he couldn't get the read on Tempo. Couldn't work out where the man was trying to put that ball. That ball's gone central again. Zappa with a touch. That's arcing down. It was almost going to be a perfect centre for Tempo once again. They couldn't get close enough. Noodles forcing it off the backboard. Tempo, he landed on that ball. Isn't the touch he was looking for, and that follow-up was not needed whatsoever. Plays it past both his teammates. Dr. Boom with no boost, trying to find the follow-up. Gets the dunk on Noodles. Cream now back to the midfield. Noodles hits it just to Tempo. But
they're looking incredibly
play being neutralised.
Cream again with what looked to be a bit of a shot, not quite getting the power he would have wanted. Looking very aggressive from Sorby, trying to keep the ball in the opposition's half. Not much so far BEA can really do about it. As we see Tempo again on another charge, maybe looking to try his fourth goal. As we see Cream centre it. It's a nice centre, no one to follow up though. As we have Zappa go onto the ball, Tempo to the interception, playing it down into the middle. Again, no one to follow up, but Sorby don't need people to follow up. They've already got a 4-0 lead with only 1 minute 10 remaining. Not quite. Dr. Boom going for a shot off Cream's miss.
Noodles now carrying this ball. He's tapped it up to Tails, back to Noodles, to Tails again, but he can't get the flick onto net. The score remains at 4-0 with 60 seconds left on the clock. And once again, we see 3 BEA players committing a no goal coming from it.
It's a long-range
they
shot.
Can't get the people upfield, and because they're so far up, Cream's able to score on a relatively open net like that. Noodles running low on boost, can't get the height he needs to find a tap on that ball.
No, not quite. Looks very dominant from Sorby so far. It could be a bit of nerves from the BEA players. They're not quite got the synergy they would like. Communication maybe being a bit rocky in this first game.
Communication may be rocky, but that has bounced off the post. The shot from Zappa is going to start a potential comeback for the BEA side.
Oh, this is exactly what they needed. Even if it looks unlikely that they're going to win, but it's just the goal to uplift them, get the morale up for the next game.
And we talk about momentum a lot, but I'm slightly concerned that they're not going to be thinking about that goal. They're going to be thinking about a couple of the opportunities they missed and the opportunities they massively overcommitted on, then gave the ball away to the Sorby side. Zappa clearing that ball to the side, Cream with the catch. It's gone to Dr. Boom, and he's tucked into the bottom corner. A neat and tidy passing play is netted as 6th for Sorby.
It could be the Brazil, possibly, as Sam said. I mean, it just looks like Sorby are playing the more dominant game. They're getting the shots on target, applying the pressure. And BEA, as you rightly mentioned, I doubt they'll be thinking about the 1 goal they scored. They'll be thinking about the nearly 7 goals they've conceded. The Brazil has been created. Dr. Boom playing it nicely to the middle, and Tempo with a relatively easy goal.
Yeah, those kickoffs tend to be unstable, and if you can't get them locked down, as was the case that time for BEA, it's very easy for the other side to capitalise. Noodles with the sidewall has opened up an opportunity for Dr. Boom, runs out of boost and is not able to find a clean touch on the ball, couldn't find a touch at all, but Tempo is going to carry that ball into the midfield looking for an 8th. But not to be this game. 4 seconds left, and I don't think either side care about scoring anymore. BEA just want to stem the bleed. Cream under that ball, didn't want to touch it and lets it die. 7-1 in favour of Sorby Academy.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're a BEA player right now, what would you be saying? What would you be saying to one another? I think that they just didn't ever get the momentum they wanted. It looked like they were a bit on edge, a bit rocky, never quite found their footing in that game. And Sorby just seemed to be able to find their footing, set up some great plays, and then just move on from there.
Well, I mean, it was a game, wasn't it?
I mean, I'd hope all Rocket League games are games, but yes, the BEA side need to move on from that one quickly. They got some good saves in. They were able to stop some of the shots, but they need to be able to stop more, and they need to be able to suppress the Sorby offense. They got outshot 13-5 that game, an embarrassing ratio for two teams which are supposed to be reasonably evenly ranked.
Do we know the ranks of these players, particularly?
I believe Dr. Boom is in the region of 1900. Tempo, I'm not entirely sure about. I'm furiously Googling it right now.
No worries. Do we know about... Obviously, we know some of the BEA players because we've played with them before, but... yeah, I think Tails was, what, 1900 a peak, was it?
Tails is around 1900 right now, as we speak.
Okay.
Tempo is in the region of 1500, and I will try to get Creams, but that may be difficult given we're not in the same party.
Okay, so we're moving into game 2 now. Does everybody have any... Do you want to change your predictions at this point, or are we not going to worry about doing that? Are we just going to...
4-2, I'm going to stick to my guns.
Okay, excellent.
I almost nailed it in the Hot Shot Sears series in the finals of Season 4.
Oh, we got a bit of lightning dance here.
Yeah, I think Sorby appear to be ready now.
Oh, yeah. I want to change my prediction, but I think it's too late. I can't see BEA winning 4-3 now, but oh well. Anyway, Tempo is going to be playing the ball into the air. Nicely to the corner. Tails not quite getting the hit he wanted in the corner. Noodles safely clearing the ball away. Noodles again pursuing on the wall. He's got some boost. It's a 2-on-1, but the pressure is not quite enough. Dr. Boom nicely clearing it to Tempo, who's playing it to Dr. Boom again. But Zappa's going to have something to say about it as Cream tries to play the ball back into the middle. Noodles going with the dribble. Dr. Boom nicely clearing it. Tempo left. Last man back. No boost. High pressure situation. Zappa trying to capitalise, but Cream is there to back up his body.
One place I think we're going to see a massive difference is the communication and chemistry between these teams. These Sorby players
that's going to be
have paid coaches to work with them. Their communication is going to be one of the things they're solid at, whereas these three players, Zappa, Tails, Noodles, this is their first time playing together outside of 6 months in an official against a competition that is this tough. And Tails, we see that pinching the ball off the backboard, doesn't have an awful lot of time. That's a pinch though. That's an opportunity to gain some momentum on this BEA side. Noodles tries to put it onto that right post, but can't find the perfect Goldilocks position where nobody could save it.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a slightly different BEA side from the one we saw earlier. As we see, equal shots so far from both teams. So obviously, BEA have decided best form of defense is a strong offense. And it seems to be working so far, but I can't help but feel that Sorby aren't quite attacking the way they did to begin with last time. We may see that a bit later as we see Noodles try and play the ball into Sorby's box, but it's going to be cleared away again, this time to Zappa, who's waiting for it on the ground, looking probably to get the cross into the middle. It's quite high. Noodles is going to try for it. Both Dr. Boom and Noodles missing the ball, with Tails going for a shot. He's not going to have enough to go for the redirect in or the double touch, just trying to get back now.
Noodles now got the ball out to Zappa, but couldn't find the place on target. Tails tucking it back in. Noodles, he tries to get it over Cream, but there's not enough time. Zappa off the post, it's back down. Tempo plays it to the side, and for the time being, we're going to stay goalless. Noodles gets a centre, but I think this offense is going to be short-lived now. the Sorby side a brick wall as we approach halfway in this game.
It looks like we're seeing British Esports committing to the offense as Dr. Boom gets a nice goal, a necessary goal for Sorby. There was at points all 3 BEA players up who seem to be so unlucky this game. I think they've had about 4 chances which were 50-50 being a goal, and none of them have gone their way. Incredibly unlucky.
We saw Noodles miss in that box. That was what opened it up, and the other players weren't able to respond. They have stemmed the bleed, though. Compared to last game, this is a huge improvement. Dr. Boom now playing that ball backwards, trying to reach tempo, but Tails intercepts the ball on the side. Cream plays the ball long past Zapper. He finds a second, and Noodles is forced to get up high for the save. Dr. Boom shot too high once again. Zapper almost found the block, but that ball bounces off the post, off the crossbar, and then finally into the net for the Sorby side. 2-0 now with 124 seconds left.
It was a nice goal, but it wasn't particularly well worked. It was more forced through there by Sorby, but they won't care. A goal's a goal, and with a 2-0 lead with 2 minutes left, do you think BEA have what it takes to level the score?
I mean, there was potential. We saw it before. They sustained offense for a good 30 seconds in their half, where they should have opened the scoring, but somehow didn't. They've been in their half for what feels like an era now, though. And they've got to break out of that. They've got to get back into the mentality they had at the start of this game, where they can go all guns blazing. And they might have an opportunity now. Noodles against Tempo, he's lobbed it high, dropping into the midfield. Tempo's found it, but there should be Tails somewhere on the back line to pull up. He wasn't. He was too far forward, and Dr. Boom almost finds a third for Sorby as a result.
Tails there getting a necessary save to really keep BEA in this game at all, as we see more aggression nearly there. We saw the attempt by Dr. Boom to get a cheeky redirect dunk on them, not quite managing it, as we see Zapper trying to make some sort of an attack into the opposition's line, not quite managing it, as Cream clears the ball nicely. And it could be a goal, but Tempo's not quite got the angle on it. But this level of pressure from Sorby, their communication, as you mentioned earlier,
was a massive commitment from the Sorby side there. I just want to see how this pans out. Tempo's just respawned the backline. Noodles should have a second touch, but Dr. Boom comes in from the side, is able to get a huge clear. Tempo following up, gets it under Tails. Dr. Boom waterfalls down, but Noodles playing it to Tails on this side wall, cutting it to the midfield. Zapper needs to beat out Dr. Boom if BEA are going to stand a chance in game 2. And the ball just goes high, bounces to another Sorby player, and they're back on offense once again. The stranglehold they have doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon.
No, it does not, but this could be a chance possibly for them as we see the BA boys attack. Sorby, I've noticed, they're not afraid to stick all 3 men up, which really highlights their level of communication. They obviously trust one another, and as you mentioned it earlier, they are coached professionally, and it seems to be really paying off for them.
That clock hit 0. BEA can't win anymore, but they do want a goal. Zapper tries to drop it down for Tails, but he's too far ahead of the ball. That ball hitting the ground, and Sorby wins game 2, 2-0.
Whew, that game was on the edge, to be fair. The first 2 minutes were insanely close for British Esports. I really thought that they were going to score at least 1 goal there. I was kind of disappointed for it to be a 2-0 victory. I thought they definitely deserved at least something out of that game. A little bit of a shame, but hey ho, you know, it happens, doesn't it? So that's it. So game 2 goes to, of course, Sorby. What do we think about the way that British Esports improved from their first game?
I mean, the scoreline said it all in the previous game. This game, I'm thinking back to when the ball was halfway, maybe 3/4 of the way into the goal, and then somehow didn't make it. Not quite sums up that game pretty much entirely for the British Esports Association side.
Yeah, I can agree more. It was unlucky a lot of the time from BEA, but they never seem to be able to capitalize on the chances they had, which I think is something that, especially when playing a team like Sorby, they have to capitalize every single chance they have. So maybe they can try and do that in this game.
Well, I think we're about to find out. So I'll leave it with you guys. Again, good luck to everybody. Come on, British Esports.
Elliot, of course, with that plug. The British Esports side has been struggling a lot in the latest show matches. Lost Overwatch, lost League of Legends, lost Valorant, so now in Rocket League they're hoping for some sort of upset or win, but that's not the start they were looking for. Zappa can't find the touch he needs on the right side wall, and it bounces into an open net.
That's gonna hurt. That is really gonna hurt. I mean, there's not much you can say there other than unlucky. It's exactly what Sorby would want. That's a massive mental slap in the face for any of the British esports players. So, I wonder if they can recover from this position. I'm sure they can, but it's just how quickly they can. It really is. We see Tails playing the ball into the middle, and not quite as we see a tap down. Noodles tried to get a nice touch on it, not quite managing to, only killing the ball in the halfway line as we see Tails clearing off his own lines. Dr. Boom coming in, multiple Sorby players flying in the air, all trying to get dunks by the looks of things on British Esports. None of them succeeding. We see Tempo line up a nice hit. He's looking for the play. He knows he's got support. Tried to fake. Cream getting demoed by Tails. Could we see the beginning of demo plays? Maybe. Zappa plays it into the middle.
That's the closest they've got for the last 4 minutes or so. So I hope we see a few more. Noodles now trying to follow up, but he's just played it into the sidewall. Nice and easy for Cream to clear that one up. Send it into the blue box. Tempo pinches it high, but no one from Sorby to follow up just yet. Cream beating out Tails. Zappa should follow up, but Tempo is found the middle of the box. And again, no one from Sorby to follow up. I wonder if their rotations are getting a little sloppy because they're getting used to an underperforming BEA side. Zappa now bouncing off the ceiling, trying to find that follow-up. It's a good 50. It's spilt out to Noodles. Getting under that ball, going for carries, beating Cream. It's on target, and we've tied it up. The British Esports Association, for the first time, other than at the start of the game, are on level scores with Sorby Academy. Elliot is very excited in the background.
As we see Tempo trying to play the ball. That is a dead ball in the middle. That is dangerous for British Esports. They can really use this now as motivation. At the end of the day, Rocket League, as much as it's a game about ability in the game, it's also a mental struggle. Whether a team can recover after being knocked down in the first 3 seconds, maybe that's where British Esports will come to shine. As we see what looks to be Tails playing the ball round the corner. Dr. Boom stopping it being the brick wall, which he has been all through this series so far. Absolute staunch defending from him. Playing it up in the air for a teammate. Tempo's going to play it to the wall. Accidentally playing it back. Nice pass back to Cream, who's going to clear the ball nicely into British Esports half.
Tails now drop that ball down to Noodles. He's trying to play it over to the right wall, but Tempo cuts him off in that midfield. Zappa, he wanted to follow up on that, wanted to get it closer to Tails, but he couldn't recover fast enough, and now BEA are back on this backline once again. Noodles bumped, and it's a triple commit almost from the BEA side. One that works out, though. It doesn't matter how many players you commit to the ball so long as it gets away from your side. Zappa with an interesting catch in the middle of the air.
Cream through to what would have been an open goal, but he didn't quite have the ball control he would have wanted. Oh, you can tell Cream wants goal. He's searching for it. Very nice play from him so far. Sorby obviously don't want to stay level and 1-0 for too long. And it's going to be a nice shot, but it's going to look to be just deflected off. And it's 2 crossbars in a row. Sorby going to be quite disappointed with that as Tempo goes for the 3rd attempt at goal. Tails is there, I'm sure will clear that nicely.
We've seen upset wins before, and of course age is going to play a factor. The maturity of these teams is lacking, I mean, evidently. And that could lead to some additional tilting. Hitting the crossbar 2 times in a row in a game which you should be winning easily, you've not been playing like yourself so far, can lead to some mishaps further down the line. Dr. Boom tries to cut that one to the near post, but Noodle's able to get a solid clear. Tempo drops it down. Tails with a stop at the last second. Cream's going to follow up those Zappa.
Oh, that's going to be it.
Yeah. Put it beautifully, that's going to be it. 2-1 down with 77 seconds on the clock. Zappa, he probably should have got a save on that. He double jumped up, he got the ball on his bonnet, and that made it bounce sort of to the side. It wasn't the direction he wanted it, that's for sure.
Noodles playing the ball to the side. Probably going to be trying. No boost though. Oh, not the play you would have wanted. Is Creams coming in, searching for probably another goal. This Sorby side we've seen, they love a bit of goal scoring, and they're going to keep getting them in the back of the net until the clock hits 0. Obviously, British Esports still has time for a comeback here. They only need one goal. Just one Sorby mistake. One excellent British Esports player is all they require. But this Sorby team showing absolutely no signs of making a mistake. So we're going to have to see some magic from British Esports. As we see Zappa going up to just clear the ball slightly to the left, but Dr. Boom is waiting for it.
I'm looking at these Sorby boost panels, and it's not going to matter because they slipped it into the net. That was the last opportunity for them to score, but they thought they had to fall back in order to get some boost. But they've absolutely nailed it, and they've opened up this margin to 2 goals with 37 seconds left.
Yeah, I can't see British Esports recovering from this, to be honest. It's possible, but not probable, to be honest. I just can't see it happening.
Dr. Boom now. He sees tempo, he plays the ball in that general direction, but it's not fast enough, and now he's missed the follow-up. The ball bouncing into the midfield, tempo up high, tucks the ball down, and Noodles can't get the touch in the net. 22 seconds left, the margin at 3. We said it was impossible before, it definitely is now.
4-1 is the score, and I think the shot said all. 8 shots from Sorby to only 4 from BEA. I mean, it's been a tale of 2 halves. There was one point when these teams, you couldn't tell them apart at 1-1, and then Sorby just looks like they changed to a higher gear and just started playing their absolute best Rocket League. And just like that, it was 4-1. British Esports
really is like a light switch from Sorby. I think they realised they were getting pressured and they were letting themselves down slightly, and then they smashed the ball into the back of the net 3 times in a row. The clock's hit 0 now. All of this is meaningless, but maybe BEA want a consolation goal. Maybe they want to turn the momentum of this series slightly in their favour, but it's not going to happen. Not this game. We head to game 4, and BEA has a 3-game deficit. Match point, Elliot.
Oh, wow. I mean, I'm so impressed and also disappointed. It's a very conflict of feelings going on with me right now. I had such high hopes when Noodles put that absolute blinder over the top, and I thought, this is it, they've figured it out, but they didn't. Like, if you watched their gameplay after that, their rotation was completely off. There was so many double commits, and even at one point there was a triple commit, I think, but it was a definite necessary save. Actually, Tails pulled off that, I'm not sure what it's called, when you drive up your inside of your own goal and come off the roof and save it. He actually pulled that off.
The squishy save.
The squishy save, yeah. It's obviously pretty difficult to do, but it feels good when you do it. But I'm not sure whether Tails is playing for those kind of freestyle, what I want to look good plays, or whether he's trying to win the game at this point, So there's a little bit of that going on, and a little bit of rotational mistakes, and I think that the experience of the Sorby side is really shining through, and it makes the BEA ball chasers look kind of very novice in comparison, even though they're not. This is very high level Rocket League, but it's such a difference, like how easily they could make them look when you've got somebody who's practiced and communicating efficiently versus the team who's new and doesn't have that experience.
Now, the British Esports side are changing things up. They're going to bring on their substitute for this series. We'll have to see whether it makes any kind of difference. Sushi from Luxon 8 Esports, formerly known as Don't Panic, the winners of the showdown all the way back in May, will be replacing someone.
Okay, fair enough. I didn't know that. I didn't know that we were doing subs, but let's do it anyway. I think at this point
they agreed they wanted a sub, so
fair enough. Well, I'm going to allow it because let's bring on Sushi. I know he's always thirsty for a game of Rocket League. Sushi has been dropping in and out, I've noticed, in the Discord in between games to help coach them. So we'll see how that goes as well, because that could prove quite interesting. All right, then.
Who's going to be coaching them this time around? Because there are coaches. And then there are coaches. Like,
yeah.
You have the one. You can't berate someone over and over for making a mistake if you don't know how to fix it as a coach. That's not your job.
All right, let's get back into the game then. Game 4. Here we go.
Here we go. Looks like Cream's going to be playing it. Sushi taking the kickoff, trying to make a mark on this match. Wonder if he can. The substitute looks like he's coming for Zampa. Could be a massive play here from Sushi. He's already made an amazing impact for British Esports, is what he'll be saying in the Discord. Not sure how much of a difference he actually made.
It's
as
kind
we
of
see Zappa leaving. Sushi getting a nice goal, top right.
It's kind of lost on me how they managed to pull that one off. There were two Sorby players back. I saw Tempo rotating back in from a long distance away, but he still should have made it back. But somehow neither of the Sorby players get a touch. Either way, we move on. Sushi missing that touch on the left wall. Noodles there to pick it back up. Manages to find Sushi, but he can't get the touch he desires. Tails now pushing this ball through. Can't get it past Tempo. Sushi into the box, but Dr. Boom's going to have a nice easy clear. To the corner, Noodles now following up, drops it into the box where Tempo's going to catch it. Sushi with 50. Ball goes neutral, I guess. But it's Dr. Boom finding that touch, almost gets to Tempo. We can see there's a faster pace from the BEA side. The substitution is rejuvenated for UK players.
I think also it's going to be a mental boost, even if there's no real difference between Sushi and Zappa. Just the idea of having a fresh set of legs, so to speak, on the pitch is probably going to lift the British Esports players, as well as the fact that they scored almost straight away with the new player. That's going to be a massive mental boost, and it's going to harm Sorby as they shoot, and Cream scores bottom right. Caster eats his words.
Yeah, that was looking dire as soon as Sushi left the far post for some reason. We will never know why, but with 70 seconds gone, the score's tied up back at 1-1. There's a lot of time left on the clock, and I think we can have faith that BEA might be able to do something in the remaining time we have. Oh no, not like this. Not like this, Dr. Boom.
Oh, Cream getting the goal.
Yeah, tease that ball up for Tempo. Tempo gets a touch, drops it back down for Cream, and he tucks the ball in. No matter how many people you throw at that, you have to get a quicker, more powerful touch to get it away from the box. And BEA didn't.
Unlucky there, as we see Tails trying to get the ball to Noodles, way past him. Noodles thinking better off it, as a Cream's going to try and get the ball. Noodles with a save there. Sorby obviously looking still very strong, 2-1. They'll be looking for more goals. British Esports, obviously, they know they have to score to stay in this series. They're all to play for, ready for British Esports.
Indeed, Tails playing that ball to the side. I think he was anticipating a follow-up from his teammates. Noodles does eventually arrive. Sushi looking to tuck the ball down. A risky play, and it almost secures a nice centre for the BEA side. But now they're on the back foot once again. Sushi misses. Noodles plays it high, and Dr. Boom, he has to aerial backwards in order to find the touch. Tempo now playing it down to Cream. He's aimed way too high. Noodles playing it all the way deep into that corner. Dr. Boom is going to struggle to get a touch, and he misses the ball entirely off the ceiling now. Cream looking for a follow-up, and Tempo, I don't think he should have gone for that touch. Better to let the BEA player save that and conserve your boost. Back on offense once again.
Cream's going to be knocking it down, and he's going to score off that pass from Dr. Boom in the middle. Sorby looking incredibly dominant. Sushi kind of getting caught out there, didn't expect it. Not much he could do, very awkward position. Cream absolutely merciless.
He wasn't cognizant of the Sorby player going up in the midfield. I think it was a pre-jump before the pass from Dr. Boom. He is, however, going to be balling two players. He's left the ball to Noodles. He just has to find the net, but it's gone straight to Cream. It bounces away, and the BEA side are once again going to be on the back foot.
As we see the Cream playing the ball, and Noodles gets it across in the end. Tails just started driving back. Boom's got no boost. Noodles trying to get the ball in the middle. Tempo intercepting. It's another cross. We're seeing a lot of crosses from British Sushi trying to solo play it in. A lot of crosses from British Esports with very few results. Oh, this is a practically open net. Tails not quite managing to do what he wanted to do with it. It's going to be intercepted. Sorby obviously wanting to get this done.
Got to capitalize on those prime opportunities. You mentioned those crosses coming into play a lot more. I think that's testament to the play style that Sushi has. Luxonate are very much a bim bam team. They like to play close. They like to get lots of touches in a row, but in that case it's not paid off. The double commit comes through. The last player from BEA is too far forward, and it just hits the net. Dr. Boom secures that 3-goal margin for Sorby, and it's looking pretty dire for British Esports at this point.
Team Ball Chase really looks like they're taking an L here. Not too much that can happen. Really, Sorby have looked the more dominant team throughout. And as you mentioned, it's about capitalizing on the easy chances. Oh, and that's going to be another easy chance for Sorby, who do capitalize. Absolutely no mercy from the Danish team. No prisoners. Maybe looking to Brazil for the second time this series. I know that's what they're thinking. Whether they'll be able to do it, I'm not sure. But I guess we'll wait and see.
Brazil's uncool now, Rando. Everyone's going for the Barças. Gotta get that 8-2.
I don't know. I think they'll be looking for the Brazil or the Barca. Obviously, they'll be looking to just win the game. I think they've been the dominant team all series, really. There were points where we thought British Esports could have had it. There was a 1-1 moment. There was moments in this game when they scored first, but they've never really held on to that momentum, whether it's been rotational errors or just not quite playing the games they would have wanted to, and it's really cost them in the long run.
And as we said before, that communication factor, being able to train your communication is going to help a lot. Communication not playing a factor there, though. Noodles caught too far forward as Cream opens it up to a 5-goal game with 37 seconds left.
Looking for Brazil.
No. But it's out of your mind, Rando.
No. So who's been your star player this series then? Oh, Sushi! Enabling the Barcelona.
I mean, Sushi has had the most impact in the one game he's been a part of. But if I had to give it to a player on Sorby, I'd say Tempo has been outperforming his level for the majority of the games, getting some crucial touches and goals. And some assists this game as well. He hasn't scored. He seems like the quieter player on, at least in this game, perhaps having to make a compromise to adjust for Sushi's play style.
Yeah,
but that brilliant adaptation is netted in my MVP.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole Sorby team's played well. They've synergized. And like you said, communication is incredible between these two players, and it's really, really shown. And that's the series.
That's a series, and all within an hour. It's almost like we perfectly scheduled it. We swear there wasn't a script, but, you know.
Well, I mean, definitely an interesting game. Yeah, I think that maybe Tempo's MMR isn't being incorrectly reported there, to be honest with you, but we'll see. I think my MVP was probably going to be Dr. Boom. I know Rando noticed it as well, but yeah, that absolutely solid in defense. Nothing got by him. There was that one occasion in this game that we just witnessed where he missed the ball entirely on the corner, but aside from that, I didn't see any defensive errors from him, so or her. I'm not gonna, it's 2020 now, so from them is what I should say. So they get my MVP vote. I think the BEA team definitely improved. Their form seemed to have improved when they brought Sushi on. I'm not sure whether it was a mechanical difference or just the team gelling better. I don't know. But I think, for what he did, Zappa put in some solid efforts as well. Being part of all of the plays, I think he got the assist in the goal in the first game. And again, maybe putting in some very good passing plays in the game 2 as well, which I noticed, which was a lot more close, even though So what did we have? We had a 7-1, we had a 2-0. What was game 3? I can't remember.
Something like 4-1, 5-1.
4-1.
Okay, yeah, and then that game there. All right, guys. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to have a short break, just while I pull in the players for a little quick post-match interview, and then we'll be back with you in a moment. So just bear with me, guys, and we'll be back shortly. All right, guys, welcome back. Sorry for the short intermission. I'm going to bring in Tempo from Team Sorby, so the next voice that you'll be hearing will be theirs. And of course, we'll just ask them a couple of questions about how we thought the game went. So, yeah, I hope that worked nicely. Tempo, welcome in. Thank you very much for joining us. And obviously, congratulations on your victory there. How do you think it went?
I think it went pretty well. I mean, we didn't lose a game, we swept them, so it probably went pretty well.
Any questions from you guys, Rando, Sigmoid?
Yeah, sure. So Tempo, you seem to be playing very aggressively. I'm not sure whether it was just that you often caught British Esports on bad rotations, but you seem to be able to really capitalize every time you're in their half. Was there anything especially you were doing, or was it just you generally playing?
I mean, I wasn't trying to do anything special, I was just playing and just using the opportunities I got to score, and it worked, I guess.
Yeah, worked very well.
Yeah, your aerial game is very impressive from the ceiling, from the walls. Yeah, I was very impressed by watching your play there. And of course, Sigmoid, your MVP.
Yeah, my MVP of the series. Well played. So of course, we're all participating in our British teams. What's the high school scene like in Denmark? Do you play with your school friends often? So I know Sorby's like your team. It's not your college.
Yeah, I mean, in my school, I think there's like 1 or 2 people in my class who plays Rocket League. So, and one of them's plat, one of them just started on the game. So, well, I don't.
Nowhere near your level. Fair enough. I mean, we're fortunate in the UK that we have so many different teams, which should be signing up for the British Esports Championships right now. You've still got 7 hours to do it.
Yeah. All right. Thanks ever so much, Tempo, and congratulations to you and all the Sorby side. I will be bringing in Tails now. Is there any last words before I let you go, Tempo?
Sorry, Laskiri.
Say again. Sorry.
Sorry, Laskiri.
Laskiri's their sub, I think.
Okay.
No, I promised him I would do a double tap. I didn't do it.
Oh, let the side down. Oh well. I mean, you performed great, and so did the whole of Team Sorby. So again, congratulations and a big thank you for taking part today. We really appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks for letting me be here.
Cheers. Bye bye.
Bye.
All right. So next up, then, I think is probably going to be Tails from Team Ball Chaser, who we all know and love from the server. Is very active, and obviously Rando, you work with him on a professional basis. So let's bring in Tails. The next voice everybody's going to hear is Tails. Welcome in. How are you?
Oh, hello. Hello, everyone.
How was that game?
Oh, honestly, we were not ready for it. Like, to be realistic, like the speed they brought in the first literal minute of the match, like it was just a change of pace we weren't ready from, coming from like 1 match of casual to going into that.
So is that all you had? Just 1 match of casual?
Yeah,
to
well,
practice?
yeah, I only just got home, and and then I had to be ready for the game. So we played a casual match, and then yeah, we went straight into that. And fair play to them, like they absolutely annihilated us. Like, to be realistic.
I mean, do you think though that even if you'd had like maybe an hour to warm up and practice and get to know each other, do you think that would have made a difference? Or
I think it would have been a lot closer, but I still think they would have taken us. Honestly, like we might have taken 1 or 2 games, because there were points where like we had them a little bit.
Yeah.
But honestly, like they would have still taken the whole thing. I do feel that way.
Yeah, game 2 was particularly close. Any comments from Sigmoid, Rando?
I can see chat asking, how was Sushi's coaching? Did you feel that made a difference? Was he better as a player?
I mean, he just sort of came in and told us to score more than they were. And it was one of those things where it was like, yeah, we've got to sort of try execute that, but it didn't really work out that way. To be fair, we brought Sushi in at the end for a little bit of a change of pace. We did feel like it helped, even though the scoreline didn't show it. Like we did feel better at the start.
We did notice on the casting panel, you did seem to pick up the pace, which was much needed.
Yeah, we got a lot faster.
To play it especially quickly in 6 maps.
Yeah, we got a lot faster with Sushi.
Yeah,
which is ironic for a team with ball chase in their name.
I do think, particularly in the game 3, before you brought Sushi in, there was a lot of double commits, and kind of everybody was like panicking, like, "Oh my god, we're 2 games down and we're losing this one." Like, I'm just going to go for it and try and do something cool, to make a difference. But yeah, I think the speed that you mentioned, like, they did bring a lot of speed. They were so quick, and they were just so in your face as well. And you didn't have any time on the ball to do any dribbling or passing plays. They shut you down at every turn. It was, I can't imagine how hard it must have been to play against.
No, honestly, people who know me know I like to have fun in the air, and they did not let me have any of it.
No,
like they did not give me any space to work with, and that was the difference, really.
So
they shut it down.
And Rando, any comments from you?
I mean, Tails, it was a tough game. I mean,
it was.
I've seen you play your fair share of 6-mans, and I know the beast that lurks inside. But
wasn't there today. It wasn't there today. No.
I mean, I think it was, you played well, but you just seemed to be outclassed. It seemed like your communication, I think it was more like casual level, me and the boys gonna hop on Rocket League rather than Sorby's professional level, me and the boys about to win RLCS level comms.
Well, yeah, towards the end, we did actually talk about it, and we were like, honestly, we kind of want to win now. Like, it looks a bit embarrassing for the British colleges that we were the ones that went forward, and we were like, we kind of want to win now. And then we did talk about it, and Sushi did come in, and it, maybe it would have been different. But Zappa, fair play to him, he did well. He did do his fair share.
Yeah, he did a solid job. I definitely thought that he was part of, especially game 2 when you guys were playing, and possibly the closest match. He was definitely he was involved in every play, whether he was clearing the ball or putting the pass in, or just being there as a presence to threaten. Yeah, definitely a valuable player in that match particularly. Cool. So just before we sign off, then, Tails, do you have any last words before I bring it back to discuss?
just props to the other team. Fair play to them. They did well.
That's honest review there. Thanks. And of course, unlucky but well played. Commiserations to you and Sushi, Noodles, and Zappa, and we appreciate you guys playing today. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you.
All right, take care. All right, so that is more or less the end of the stream. Sorry that it was not an hour and a half, but to be honest, I'm quite happy with it ending at 5 because it's Friday night and I'm sure you've all got big weekend plans. Sigmoid, Rando, thank you ever so much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on to co-host. No, to co-host. That's the one. Words are hard. But yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much, guys.
That's been a pleasure.
Yeah, same here.
All right. And without further ado, I shall just go back to my single cam and just give you a little brief update, everybody, about what's happening on the next few weeks. As I said at the start of the stream, we are doing the Championships broadcasts, which will be taking place every Wednesday at 4 PM, give or take, depending on availability of the teams. But yeah, hopefully we'll be getting a lot more Rocket League content, a lot more Overwatch and League of Legends actual gameplay being broadcast on these channels. We're going to be having less interviews now that schools are starting to go back and we can actually do proper gameplay. This is Friday, which is normally my fun Friday session. I hijacked it today to do the show match, and obviously we've all had a lot of fun here doing that. Let's just see some catch up with the chat. I'll try not to throw next time I play, says Noodles. Dude, you did great. Honestly, that dunk on Dr. Boom was solid. I hope somebody clipped it. Next on stream, comedy night with Team Ball Chase. A potential. I wouldn't mind doing it. And then Fenix Byron. Oh, look, Spyron's in the chat. That deserves a Spyron. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you ever so much for joining. My name has been Elliot. I've been your host. And just to give you a short sort of update on other streams that aren't the championships, we've got coming up over the next few weeks. There's a couple of announcement streams that we'll be making in the next few days. One particularly concerning World Esports Day, which, if you haven't heard, that'll be coming up in the first few weeks. In the last week, or the last day of the month rather. So on the 30th we'll be doing a stream about that, and hopefully we'll be having Chester King on, with the CEO of British Esports, which in 4.5 months will be the first time he's been on stream, so that will be a right laugh as well. Coming up in October, I'm going to be back next Friday with some fun fun games. I'm also going to be playing Among Us with the community, so if any of you guys out there have Among Us and want to play a game with me on Friday afternoon, do come and join in. Also, there'll be an Esports in Education Summit, which is something that we've been organising all year long and are finally able to announce it. That's going to be in November, but the stream will be on Monday the 5th. As far as that goes, that's the first week of October, and then we'll be straight into championships. So it's been an absolute pleasure, guys. Thank you ever so much for joining me. Bye bye.